Hello, good morning, grand rising, everyone here. We are on Thursday. It's now day 16 of the 21-day challenge where I'm sharing these principles with you. What's going on inside the minds of people who are both achieving and not achieving. The only difference is that you get to discover the awareness that you can control your thoughts as opposed to letting them happen because it's always happening. We always have thoughts. We always have habits and actions. When we look at the outcomes, the results that we have individually in our group, we start to get at the root cause behind what is happening and how those could have a shift. And so that's why I'm sharing this spring cleaning for your mind. Today, we're talking about budgeting time and money. That's a powerful subject, isn't it? You can talk for days, weeks, months on end. So one of the things that we talk about in the idea of having, out of chaos we bring order, and out of order we have clarity. And with clarity, that is the power. So the power of having your purpose, knowing why you're here, and having a plan. What is the plan that you're using to that goal, that desire, that idea that uses you to get to that next level? As Napoleon Hill talks about, purpose, plan, and action are vitally important. It's critical because there's two types of people. One type, and Napoleon Hill writes about this in Outwitting the Devil, great book to pick up, Outwitting the Devil. The devil, of course, is our mind. So one type of person is a drifter and one is a non-drifter. The drifter is the one who is the hamster on their wheel, always the same thing every day. It's always, giving effort, and the faster the effort goes, the faster the wheel spins, and there's no forward progress. When you think of it, how many times are you seeing people that they talk about doing the same thing and they talk about doing different things, but nothing shifts because it's only talk, instead of taking those seeds and putting them into a plan and moving forward? The non-drifter is the person who has a plan. They're aware, they discovered their purpose. You don't choose a purpose. That's one of the important criteria, is that we discover why we're here when we pay attention to the things we like, the things that our strengths are, the things that we're good at. Yeah, you can be as well, we don't want to compare ourselves, but we can be good like somebody else is good in certain things. Understanding to the ways that that makes us unique is that forget about the 100 people or 5,000 or 1,000,000 or 100 million of everyone in the world. No one shares the same unique collections of skills, abilities, strengths, and weaknesses to the same level of extent. If you had say it was a range of 1 to 10, everybody's going to come in at a different fluctuation. And if we put that on to chart, you could chart out that if there was some way that you measure exactly what the energetic output, the emotional output, our thoughts output, they can do some pretty cool things tracking energy. Yet that's really not what we're going to be focused on today. Just the idea of understanding you're unique. That is where we want to go with it today. So budgeting time, when you think of it for a second, take a second. It's always this moment. And you may have heard before, there's 86,400 seconds in a day. What if you equate that to $1? What is the use of your time? Not the current resources you have, but the use of your time. How are you spending your time? Earl Nightingale used to talk about the concept there's no such thing as time management, and many other truly successful and really doing good work type of leaders will talk about the idea there is no such thing as time management. What we do is we manage our activities. The people talk about time management, they're really not aware of this. So what are the habits that we've got, and what are the activities that we're doing? Because imagine, for example, the seconds were $1. If you had $86,400 coming to you every day, how would you spend those? So the same thing, when you're looking at your time, how do you spend your time? Is it productive towards going towards the outcome you want to have in your relationships, in your health, in your financial psychology, in your spirituality, in the impact that you want to have socially? All of those different things. You think about, where am I spending my time, and can you spend it differently with intention? Because the idea is that the non-drifter is really focused. They're using these principles and they're taking those steps, having the purpose, the plan, and the action. The drifter doesn't think for themselves. And the truth is, it's only 1, 2, only 3% of people are non-drifters. Although every single one of the 97% will think I'm not a drifter. Well, the question is, challenge yourself. Are you always in control of your thoughts? Or you let other people do the thinking for you? Do others let other people do the thinking for them? Because that's what non-drifters do. Non-drifters don't think. There's mental activity. My mentor, Bob Proctor, used to talk about the idea that your mental activity does not constitute thinking. And right at this moment, I don't remember who said it, but it might have been Ralph Emerson, who said if people said what they were thinking, they'd be speechless. Because they're really not talking about what they're thinking. It's like an automatic response. It's like the person who's always talking, and they're almost never listening. And the idea that it's just getting words out is not thinking, it's not talking. The idea is, how do we generate thoughts, and from a perspective, and from what is happening, and responding to the things that are going on, and having accurate, clear thinking. I talked about that principle earlier. Now, if we budgeted our time, say there was 86,400 seconds in the day, what would it take to have 1,000,000 seconds? Well, it'd take about 12 days. In 12 days, you would have spent 1,000,000 seconds. Now, what if you spend 1,000,000,000 seconds? 1,000,000,000 seconds is 31 years. What about 1,000,000,000,000? 1,000,000,000,000 seconds would take 31,000 years. Now, of course, with law of relativity, there's no numbers that are big. There's no numbers that are small. Only our thinking and our perception will create this little comparison that says this is small, this is big. And when we can really equate those seconds to dollars, what is it that you're doing in the whole big scheme of life, where you're taking those steps daily and you're becoming one who's very intentional and coming from love, no judgment? Stop the idea of judgment of yourself and others, and really just being intentional with the time. Part of that could be exploring free time, getting out and exercising, being outside of nature, being with people where you want to be. The truth is, does anybody ever say at the end of their life, if they were at a hospice house, they're not going to say, I really wish I worked more hours? No. People look back and want to be there. So by the time you're in your 30s and 40s and 50s, start doing those high impact projects that you want to be doing, whether it's volunteering, whether it's going with the family on a extended tour. Start taking those times and move forward, because we always have right now. And the truth is, they talk about the idea of when to plant an acorn, when to plant a seed, was probably 20 years ago. Second best time is now. We only have this moment now. So in this moment, we make a decision. Where is it that we want to be? Begin doing the things at once. And with peace of mind, we don't have to be concerned of what's happening around us. We've got more power inside of us, each one of us does, than anything that's outside of us. The question is, what are we going to do about it? Is our thinking comparing things, making a number too big or too small? And is it something that we are feeling trapped by the comfort zone? Here's a couple of questions to leave you with today that successful people leave themselves with the following questions. How are you using your time? How much of it are you wasting? It's good to have downtime and compress. Absolutely. There's no question. Meditation, just silent thinking. Take 30 minutes in the morning. Take about 30 minutes in the middle of the day. Take 30 minutes in the evening and think. An hour would be better. And then you can build that to 90 minutes. When you're using that to craft and make these little tweaks and nuance and adjustments to the plan, because the plan doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be a plan. And we have to take actions, 5 actions a day. And then we talk about in the root cause behind those actions, where do the habits come from? Those are some of the things that we go down deeper into our hour-long, day-long, weekend-long retreats and workshops and masterclasses. So are you wasting your time, or are you using the time to be better at who you are? And if you show up better at who you are, that's not a waste of time. Especially delegation too. Can there be tasks that aren't your strengths that someone else can handle? Even if they're not an employee or a coworker or a family member or a friend, bringing people onto the team in collaboration, because collaboration will always outperform competition. And with that, you can answer the question of what are you doing to stop the waste? And then also, how would you use your spare time and spend your money? And I'll tell you where you will be 10 years from now. Think of that. Where will you be 10 years from now? By spending your time doing the things that move you forward, that make an impact that you want, and really taking that time to think differently. By thinking differently, we're sprinkling our mind so that we can use all these principles, be aligned with them, and be achieving at higher levels with peace of mind and higher levels of joy. And the idea there is no force at all. It's all about helping others and receiving. It's about the giving and receiving coming in together. So this has been day 16, budgeting our time, managing our activities, so that way you'd be thriving in any condition. We'll see you again tomorrow.